Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome once again to the Yanis Gikuma Show, where we explore life success principles using some of the best personal development books and materials around the world. Today, I'm continuing with a series that I entitled The Science and the Art of Goal Setting and Goal Achieving. This is part 4. In the case you've missed the previous ones, check them out. Check us out on YouTube, on iTunes, Spotify, so you can at least catch up with the material I'm sharing. Today's quote of the day is from one of my favorite teachers and speakers. His name is Denis Waitley. Brilliant man, by the way. And he said, "You have all the reason in the world to achieve your greatest dreams. Imagination plus innovation equals realization." Let me say that one more time. You have all the reasons in the world to achieve your dreams. Imagination plus innovation equals realization. Earlier in the series, I spoke about attitude, because if you're going to win, you've got to sort of change your attitude. Now, what is attitude? We said attitude is a composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Now, then we looked into, the parts that make you. What parts are responsible for your thoughts and your feelings and your actions? We said it's the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the body. The body takes the action. The unconscious mind pushes the body into action, but it's the conscious mind that feeds the information into the subconscious to cause a physical action. So then we decided to unpack the conscious mind, and we decided that the mind, or we're looking at the parts that make up the mind, and the conscious mind. So you have your mental faculties. And today I'm going to continue with a faculty called reason, behind which reasoning comes from, and with a few others, so we can then synthesize them and then effectively equip yourself and also myself to be able to reach our goals for 2021. Now, I'm a firm believer that we are made in God's image and in God's likeness. And in Isaiah chapter 1 verses 18, the Bible says, "Come now, let us reason together." This is the Lord, the creator of the universe, calling unto man through prophet Isaiah, saying, "Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow." So there we can see that even God himself has shown that has given us the capacity to reason. So every single person has a capacity to reason. So reason then is your center of your thinking. The reasoning process. Reasoning is the process of becoming aware of a problem or a challenge, evaluating the possible solutions or options, and then consequently making a decision. So you can see it's within your reason. It is here then that you evaluate your facts. You separate facts from fiction and fantasies. Where fiction is turned into a fact and fantasy into science and goals into results. Most of the things that we see today, they at some point were fantasies. If you go back into the 80s and the 90s and you watch some of the cartoons, there was a lot of sci-fi stuff that we are actually seeing today that is real. I mean, landing rockets, Elon Musk, right? 10 years ago, that sounded like science fiction. And here we are today. Now, there are few pillars of reasoning, and I'm just going to give you 3. There are pillars of reasoning, and it says one of them says, all reasoning is an attempt to figure out something, to settle a question, to solve a problem, to reach a goal. So reasoning then is purposeful. Reasoning is purposeful. You may be wasting your time trying to reason out of something that cannot or does not exist, because it's a purely fantasy out there. But again, as you can see, the reasoning always has a goal. Okay, all reasoning leads somewhere, has implications and has consequences. So if you reason in the wrong way, you end up in the wrong place, right? All reasoning is based on data, information, and evidence. All reasoning is based on data, information, and evidence. So then again, this is where you ask yourself, where are you getting your facts? Where are you getting your data? Where are you getting the evidence from? And this is why it's important to study. Even Apostle Peter said, study that you may show yourself approved, dividing the word of truth. So if you don't study and understand and evaluate your facts, how will you know that they are actual facts? And especially in today's world where we have so much fake news. Proverbs 25 verse 2 says, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the honor of kings to search it out." It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory or the honor of kings to search it out. So the thing that you're trying to search out, you may have caught it with your imagination, but you're trying to reason out to try and mine the gold that is within that idea that is hidden from you. Then that's what gives glory. It's the glory of God. He hides things almost sometimes in plain sight, but as you search them out, you eventually find the aha moment. That is to your honor. So God has hidden a desire within you, and as you look forward to manifest it, as you equip yourself to manifest it, it's where you get your honor from. That's where you get your income from. That's where you get your breakthrough from. So if you can then say the goal that you're trying to achieve, if it's something you've done before, then that's not really a goal because you already know what to do. A goal needs to stretch you, as we said earlier. A goal needs to be able to inspire you, and you got to feel the fear, but yet stay motivated because it has to be meaningful to you. Later on in this series, we're going to talk about values. Now, if you set your goal against or that is not congruent with your values, you will frustrate, you will procrastinate, and then you'll quit. So it's important that you set a goal that pulls you towards it. And in this way, you manifest the glory of God within you. And in fact, you grow a greater awareness of who and what you're capable of. Now, we're going to look at memory. All right. What is memory? Memory is the ability of an organism to record information about things or events with the facility of recalling them later at will. Okay. Memory is the ability to form, to encapsulate or encode information within yourself and then recall it at will. Now, we have a problem there. Memory always has a problem of something called forgetfulness or forgetting. However, let's focus on memory. Okay? It's a faculty in your brain that you can use and you can strengthen. And yes, it can be weak. You can have weak memory. For example, you can have a weak memory on remembering people's names. You may be good at facial recognition, but fail in recollecting back the name of the individual. And you know, that's part of my confession. I will remember you. I may remember your face, but the name may escape me. Is it possible to strengthen that? Yes, it is. Rehearsal and repetition. That is the key to improving your memory. Repetition. You've got to repeat it because you have the short-term memory, which functions for about 5 to the first 7 to 21 seconds or so. And then after that, it's whatever information was there. If it was unnecessary, it is thrown out. If it is very important, depending on how it is you present it to your brain, it is encoded within other parts of your cognitive system or your conscious mind, stored for the long-term retrieval. Now, although I'm still learning about this information, I can testify that memory is one of the most challenging things to improve because you've got to remember to do it. And if you're forgetful or if you think it's not important, then chances are you will automatically forget. But this is a faculty that we all have and we can actually do it. Now, without repetition, it's quite difficult for you to remember things. If you're going to succeed, then how does memory function or how important is memory towards your success? Let me bring you to the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. And God told Joshua, this is when Moses has died and Joshua is now in the place of taking over the baton to lead the children of Israel from the desert into the promised land. And Joshua 1, it says, God tells Joshua, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night. That is repetition, day and night. That you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. Now, if you turn that into your goal, these words of your goal shall not depart from you. How important is your goal? You've got to look at it a few times a day. Yes, remind yourself where you're going. Why? Because it starts to shape your perception. We're going to look at perception later on. And to do and to observe according to that which is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous and you will have good success. So the book of the law. You see, if you take that statement and you imagine the goal that you have set for yourself, if it is well set and it's vitally important to you, then it's something you need to bind yourself to. It almost has to be a religion to you. Your goal has to be in front of your face to remind you where you're going, to remind you that's the direction you're facing. So then it helps you eliminate temptation. It helps keep your will strong. Because remember we said earlier about the will that if you spend a good amount of time making hard decisions, your will depletes. How about if you can delegate a lot of stuff that you don't necessarily need to deal with and only focus with that which matters the most? And if it is in your health, then focus on the things you ought to do, the things you're willing to do to stay in line with your goal. It's only through that you're going to get victory.
Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we're going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Have been looking at the conscious mind, and within the conscious mind you have your faculties, mental faculties, you have your normal senses or your normal faculties, your taste, your touch, and so on, and then you have your intellectual faculties. We've looked at the will previously. We have just looked at reason. We are now going to we've also looked at memory, and we're going to look at the fourth one, which is perception. Now, perception refers to a sensory information, refers to the way sensory information is organized, interpreted, and consciously experienced. Perception refers to the way sensory information is organized, interpreted, and experienced. So you can see that the faculties that you have that are your normal faculties, your sight and your hearing, they receive information from the inside out. They are passed over to your perception faculty, which now changes the way the information is organized, the way that information is interpreted, and the way the information is consciously experienced. Now, how we interpret those sensations is influenced by our available knowledge, experiences, and thoughts. Okay, so you can already see then your perception is working from the inside out, telling you what you're perceiving from the outside in. So, for example, let's say you see a dog and you've been bitten by a dog before. When you see a dog, and your perception will tell you it's time to be very wary and cautious because previous experience and knowledge tells us these things bite. Things that looks like this bite. Right. Now, when it comes to goals then, if you've tried to set goals before and failed, well, chances are you start now, your perception towards your ability to persevere is affected or is changed. And sometimes even when you have enough information is not enough. Even when you have motivators is not enough. Even when you have good teachers, sometimes it's just not enough. Let me take you to scripture and show you where this played out very powerfully. In the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verses 33, in the chapter 13, just to give you a backdrop story, Moses takes 12 people of the group of the tribes of Israel, and sends them in to the land of Canaan to spy the land. As they go in to spy, they come back bearing wonderful fruits. Okay, the produce of the land is huge. However, verses 33 records something quite powerful here. A group of 10 of them said, there we saw giants, the descendants of Anak, who came from the giants, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight. Keep that in mind. We were like grasshoppers. These are the warriors that have been chosen to go and take the land. And they are saying, we saw the giants there, and in our own sight, we were like grasshoppers. And in their sight, so were we also. So then the perception here is, I am first before the other person can call me. They saw themselves as grasshoppers in their own sight. However, Joshua and Caleb, Numbers chapter 14, verses 9, Caleb said, only do not rebel against the Lord, because he was angry because he had seen what the Lord had done with Moses. So you see, all these people had seen the miracles Moses did to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. But those were not enough, because in their sight they saw themselves as grasshoppers. Caleb, though, Joshua and Caleb had a different type of faith. They had chosen to believe. So even though they had received the same information from the outside in, experiencing the miracles, the plagues in Egypt, and all the wealth they looted Egypt overnight, the crossing of the Red Sea, all of a sudden now these same people, they decide that's not good enough. But Joshua said, only do not rebel against the Lord, nor fear the people of the land. They are our bread. Their protection has departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. Now, let me put this into context. You have your goal set way up there. You know you have what it takes within you, deep down within you, to want to get it, because it's that important to you. It's gonna cause you to stretch. Do not look at the things that are on the way, because guess what? You are going to navigate your way around them. Just make sure you stay focused on your goal, because it's by doing that, then God is on your side. Everything you will need, the universe literally God will use the universe to send you everything that you need. So do not be afraid of how big the goal is. Your perception then matters a lot. Your perception matters a lot. And sometimes you've got to think, in order to play around with your perception, whenever you're faced with a challenge or with something that you know it's important, look at it from different angles, and then you stand a better chance of shifting your perception. So let me ask you this. What is your perception about what you're about to engage, or you're already engaging on in 2021? What do you say, or who do you say you are? Someone who just lost their job and is hopeless? Or someone who is resilient because this far you have been fighting? Who are you allowing to shape your perception? Are you delving deeper and deeper into Netflix series that just kind of, feed you with feel-good emotions and realistically stealing your time? Or are you watching documentaries in alignment to places that you want to go? What kind of books are you reading? How do you perceive what is happening to you, or what is happening through you, or what is happening with you? Are things in the way, or are they on the way? Okay, are things in your way, or are they on your way? We looked at Numbers chapter 13, verses 33, where the children of Israel, a group of them, were sent over to go and spy the land that they were supposed to be taking over. Now, remember, these guys have seen major miracles in front of their faces. They have overcome things that were unbelievably challenging, including seeing Pharaoh's army swallowed up by the river Nile. Yet, when they go to see the land, they forget who is on their side, and they see themselves as grasshoppers in front of the people of the land. Joshua, on the other hand, stands and says, no, we are not grasshoppers. Those people are our bread. They are technically dead because God is on our side. So then here we can see a very clear indication of the differences in perception. Next week, we are going to look into imagination and then intuition. We're going to look at imagination and intuition. And we've come to the end of our show for today. And I want to wish you a wonderful week. Set your goals in line that they will increase your capacity. They will stretch you. They will make you grow. They will make you think. They will make you want to become someone new, that you may expand your awareness. Have a wonderful week. God bless. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I urge you to subscribe and also click the notification button to be informed when I upload new content. All the best, and please remember to share, like it, and comment. Thank you.